for once, Hannah all the latest updating or Sassan Kobe like in a share. Pneumonia so in ye binti non soon keep you updated. Yes, already in feigning chum, in candy one chairman. Sorry, a live video I share. Just a happy TV3. Just a good boss CEO Sammy Gyamfi, and I just say or Cṛasheṣ with a year Bawuma mechanism ni mentor. And I just say or Cṛasheṣ no. Then you know saying a year pay. I just say friend coffee bento na just say you can say or kasa without fact. And all you can through Sammy Gyamfi and ne a mahama bemuno no and a Sammy Gyamfi bore matches or bet and say one giant cast and one giant throne or channel because in ye be na politics. Where were you? Na Bawuma and ya kofado power and one cassa. Nene any good board ye near my house good board for any a promoting Galamsey. And yes, I'm good to near the course.
The CEO of Gold Board. No, he hasn't spoken on this. No, the CEO of Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi, is on the telephone right now. There'll say particular statement which was made, which I in fact queried and asked questions of. The specific, yes, he's on the telephone right now. Mr. Gyamfi, can you hear us? Hello?
I can hear you, Alfred.
Yes. There's a quick intervention that you're saying specific about where you are buying the gold from, Gold Board. Where are you buying the gold from?
Yeah, Alfred, thank you, and a very good morning to your esteemed panelists and your cherished viewers across the world. My attention has been drawn to a false statement that one of your panelists, specifically Mr. Kofi Benson, has made about the sources of gold purchases of the Ghana Gold Board. I understand that he stated categorically that about 85% of small-scale miners in the country are Galamseyers, and therefore 85% of the gold being purchased by Gold Board by inference is coming from Galamseyers. I want to put on record that that statement is totally false. Mr. Benson should not be allowed to get away with such falsehood on a very important platform such as Key Points on TV3. For the records, Gold Board is a creature of law. The Ghana Gold Board was established under Act 1140 passed by Parliament in 2025. That law provides for how and where Gold Board must buy gold. And if you read it, you will find out that Gold Board by law is mandated to only buy gold from licensed miners. We buy gold, and Mr. Cṛasheṣ, who is the head of the Chamber of Mines, will attest to you that there are about 7 large-scale mining companies in Ghana that Gold Board currently buys 20% of their gold. I'm talking about large-scale mining companies. And we buy this gold to shore up our gold reserves. Number 2, when it comes to small-scale miners, the law requires the Gold Board to buy gold or the gold produced by licensed small-scale miners. Now, there are over 2,000 licensed small-scale miners in the country. And that is the primary source of all small-scale gold purchases of the Gold Board. So the Gold Board, by law and by policy, does not deal with illegal miners. We deal with licensed small-scale miners through the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners and the Concerned Small-Scale Miners Association. Now, this is a novelty. This has never happened in the history of Ghana, because since Ghana started producing gold, there has not been any legal and institutional framework that ensures that gold is purchased from licensed miners. So hitherto, you have individual licensees of the PMMC and or the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources buying gold from everybody, irrespective of the source. Then came 2022, when Kofi Benson's friends his political mentor, Bawuma, introduced the gold for oil and gold for forex program. I didn't hear Kofi Bentil ask Bawuma and the Bank of Ghana then where they were buying gold from for their gold for oil and gold for forex program. When we decided as a government and as a nation to go into gold purchases, created that legal and institutional framework that mandates us to only buy from licensed miners. Now, to enforce this legal injunction, the president has directed us to do what is provided for under Section 31F of the Gold Bond Law, which is to establish a full value chain track and trace system. And the process has started, and we have already given timelines that by first quarter of next year, we will have a track and trace system which has never happened since Ghana became Ghana. And this system will allow us to trace every gram of gold produced in Ghana and purchased by the gold board to its origin mine. So Kofi Bentil lied on your show when he said that the gold board gets 85% of its gold from illegal miners. It is not true.
So we
get our gold from the over 2,000 licensed miners in Ghana.
Right. When you make the point,
let me explain something to you, Alfred.
Quickly.
We, as a corporate entity, do not buy gold directly. We buy it from private licensees, like if it is in the cocoa area.
Right.
So it is possible that a private licensee of the gold board, licensed buying agent of the gold board, despite the legal requirement of them buying from only licensed small-scale miners, it is possible that you may get some of them breaching this legal provision. That is why we are introducing the track and trace system the president has been talking about, so that we can fish them out, we can segregate the gold, and we can ensure total compliance with this. So you shouldn't sit there and talk about things he doesn't know. Where did he get that figure 85% from?
Okay, so Sammy, since you said your attention was drawn to it, a couple of things. I then would assume that you weren't watching at the time. When he made that statement, yes, I raised queries about that. But then you make a point about you don't buy gold directly from the miners, and that there is a possibility that the licensed gold buyers that you engage would breach the law that mandates that gold board buys the gold from only licensed small-scale miners. There's that possibility that they may have bought from illegal small-scale miners that you are not directly aware of and you are not directly engaging. So that's a challenge. So,
my brother, are you aware of any perfect system anywhere in the world? You cannot have a perfect system anywhere in the world. We are saying that, first of all, understand how gold is bought.
Yeah.
Gold is bought in buying offices in district capitals and regional capitals and various towns across the country. Gold is not bought from mining sites. Okay? So when an individual buyer is sitting in his office in Koforidua and somebody brings nuggets of gold or gold in the form of a powder, that individual Ghanaian may not have the technology to detect whether that seller is a licensed miner or not. And it is the responsibility of government to put in place the systems that will ensure that that buyer is able to trace the source of that gold. I am saying that Kofi Bentil's friends were in power for 8 years. They started gold purchases under gold for oil and gold for forex. They did not introduce any such system.
Okay.
We, in less than 9 months, are introducing that system that will allow these individual licensed buyers of the gold board buying gold for us to be able to detect the sources of the gold and us.
So the traceability is what you are introducing.
Any objective person, Alfred, will comment. And you will not come and say they're throwing figures around.
So the traceability...
5% of small-scale miners are Galamsey. What is the source of that data?
So the traceability is what you are putting in place now to identify this and address the challenge.
Did we ever have a conversation about traceability when Kofi Bentil's mentor Bawuma was vice president and he was doing gold for oil and gold for forex? No, because they were buying gold without any proper institutional and legal framework. That is different from what is happening now under President Mahama. And he has given clear directives, and we are almost done with this track and trace system. But even in the absence of the track and trace system, go to our website. The terms and conditions of our license are clear. We don't buy gold from illegal miners, and we don't deal with illegal miners. We rather, at the time NIMOS was facing challenges with resources, we rather are giving financial and logistical support to NIMOS to go and fight illegal miners. Why would we do that? Can the kingdom divided among itself stand? And then you don't have any evidence, you don't have any data. You come and sit on national television and you throw a figure, which is a figment of your own imagination out there, that 85% of gold bond gold comes from illegal miners. You should stop that propaganda.
Right. So that, Sammy, it's to make about the traceability is the next phase of the conversation in dealing with this challenge. That's what you have identified as well.
I want Mr. Kṛasheṣ, who is a key partner of the gold board there, and who currently is working on that.
Is seated here. In fact,
hold on.
Yes, he corroborates the point that you're making.
On the development of model LBMA certified model mines and refinery and all that, to educate Kofi Benso that gold board buys large-scale mining gold.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, gold board buys a small-scale gold by law from licensed small-scale miners. But we are not hypocrites. So we know that there are over 700 licensed buyers of the gold board who are scattered across the length and breadth of Ghana. Some of them may, at some points, be doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
And we want to be able to check them and make sure that they buy gold for us only from licensed miners.
All right.
That is why in record time, we are doing something which has never been done since the days of Watsapp.
Okay.
And you think that we rather deserve criticism and not your friends, Bawuma and Akufo-Addo, who were in power for 8 years, doing gold for oil and gold for forex, without any traceability system, without any law, without any legal or institutional framework.
Engineer Dr. Kṛasheṣ, you reference is seated here on the engagement of the large scale that's companies in doing so Sammy, thank you very much.
And you see, I know that my brother and Minister for Government Communication is there.
So here,
and he will do justice
some of the issues that you
to the issue you are discussing. So I only came in to respond
make this
to the
intervention.
issue, the allegation about gold board buying 80% of this good from Galamsey.
Okay,
thank you. Issues about illegal mining. My good brother and Minister of Government Communication is there, and I know he will do that.
Duly noted.
Yes.
Engineer, so just what kind of arrangement is just
so
a brief
again,
one?
So the some of the large scale miners sell their gold also to the gold board, and so the gold board itself, it's also again beyond the LBMA certification for the refinery that gold board is pushing. There's also the push for some responsible modeled mines that the gold board is also looking into, and there are some conversations that we are having to really be able to get that done. But again, as Sammy himself accepted, because of the nature in the way they buy the gold, we need to work on the traceability quickly. You know, we need to work on the issue of the traceability as quickly as possible. And I posit, you know, sitting as an engineer, that another thing that we could be doing is that, you know, everybody who, and I know that it's one of the things that the gold board itself is also wanting to do, because the whole issues around the AML, you know, issues around is something that the gold board has been brought to their attention. Okay. To the extent that the gold board now would want to, I'm sure they're going to get to a point where their buyers would have to issue a gold board receipt, you know, for the gold that has been. So there's some work that has to be done in there to ensure that the illicit gold does not come into the system. And for me, one of the things that the gold board has been able to do well is curb the smuggling. So if they also can help curb the illegal gold for also getting into the system, what will happen is that those people will not have demand. You know, and so it would kill their business. And if we talk about really enforcement, one of the people that have done really enforcement in the area they are the gold board in terms of the smugglers. You see the way when they catch anybody, they hit them hard. If also the fight against Galamsey could emulate the way the gold board goes after the people, and look at them, Gold board, they are the people catching their kingpins. For gold board, you see that the people they catch are not the small people. They catch the big guys. So if the same thing they're doing, we could bring that also in tightening the noose. So I would pray, and again, Sammy says that traceability is going to happen. It should happen tomorrow. If it happens quickly, you know what is going to happen? You will find out that a lot of those people who are in the bushes, they'll stop because who buy their gold anymore? So I think that is an important point that has to be made.
Okay. I think it's only fair that I come in at this point. It was useful that all the other panelists had their bites because then it crystallizes the issue, so we know exactly which one is responsible. You see, the first point is that there has been a narrative, which is quite worrying in recent times, that all the gains we've made in gold production and sale and the foreign exchange receipts thereof have come about because of an upsurge in Galamsey. You see, that narrative does not provide any credible evidence to back it. For the avoidance of doubt, there is no government policy to purchase gold from Galamsey. What it is that over the period, for the decades that we've mined gold, there has never been a system to trace where it comes from. But purchase from large-scale mining firms, represented by my friend Ken here, and small-scale mining firms are all lawful. Because small-scale mining is a lawful activity. Sometimes we speak as though it is coterminous with Galamsey. It is not. The state of Ghana made laws and allowed for small-time players to participate in the extraction of gold. And after, it makes sense. We cannot have a situation where, invariably, because of the financial might and skill of external gold producers, they are the ones that dominate our markets. We cannot have a situation where Ghanaians are prevented.
I was saying for the Kesi Asuma, Sammy Gyamfi, and our friends who also know fellows of Cṛasheṣ so they didn't edit a car. You know the same. A coffee bento and a air castle. Over 85% of Galamsey's for good. A good board. As Sammy Gyamfi down will see you. Now, no, a share Sammy Gyamfi before or chair say, Ubio. And I just say, I'm an Adrian and Abassam a year, Casabia coffee bent a TV3 the acre. Now, or just say, I dare not work on the fact a parnison. Won't mean to now platform Kesi. Now, just a free benny now, also bear Jan Dam, 8 a good board. Obey Jan Dam, 8 Mahama, Amemono. And 'tis a first in the beam. Mahama second come win, and 'tis a first Nana Muchan Trona, Sabi no be iding, Afan Huedino. And a Mahama name is Bear, Mahama New Week, Mahama Tracy Boache, Jane Drobasa. He's seen a Jan Dam, my friend Jan Dam, no, and 'tis a first in the beam. Sheniama ban we di ugwa kwemu niema o ye di oso obeye and because obey bibia o hwe niema wa ye dada enu na ebemu wa je di so bitima ya na so wontima. At first our biggest problem na ye electricity dumso. Mama told us obe fix dumso o me enkan ya na gina so o ye anasa wanye o ye NDC for intimate turn that message and my NPP for because I'm on the moment fix it do so. This a mum 24 ne kakra bi netini buy beka no kakra say a GM na fix it do so no. Mama so be fix Galamsey issues menace no be fix it. Inti niema waye dada no enu na wo gina so e de a calculate say okay obitima ye alaso ntimi ne. And the president is doing something good. She niema moye bra mutwemu no. She lances a wood on the man. She insu a wood on Moseno. She forest a wood on Moseno. And then when the Jina quarter, he didn't ask them about Galamsey. A PNC ni, PPP ni, CPP ni, NDC ni. A NPP penny barco any Jina a court. And he didn't ask them. So we are talking about someone or be fixing adena. Oh, say claim say nipa no or fixing adena. Or no mom na say promoting adena. How? So you say you have any evidence say NDC for na promoting Galamsey. Court no way because I didn't see illegal. I did illegal so the Emra kwan so no ibetima ye ne apanishi sign ni pakro tell now when pakro in court. One got 10%, one got 20%, one got 50%, one got 70%. Praku 85% of Galamsey is for good a good board war. How? Tianuna share ACU Sammy Gyamfi our good board no on a share before money free sim no. I can't say a many pa be baby a drum no ntimi nka obi ho asem kire say Bawuma ka say good for you no anu anga say Galamsey is for sika any dey good for you. Meanwhile that time no now the president edini Akroma to so to charge say obe fix Galamsey good for you. So you see no your petrol no come from na mo can be your petrol no come from because of Bawuma and drink Kesi good for you. That time one can say Galamsey is for good. And as Galamsey is for any more good or money free Galamsey mono. And only a deal good for you. One casa one to my percentage be a momo. And ye new be on them quite so what she be a ba. Ye near my toasuma. Or better TV trade platform kakraka wizo. To jandam gum. No in your dean. If the country spoil, no in your dean. It's a country ni say now when your dean. Mission is in. The all say and you will point me in point blank ain't me in Casanche no. Do ye ni mum namo tatano. No can abemobu. And then I am when ye free jandamu. No my ya name this for ya kono bim no co position. Name be before ba. Then I'm when ye free. Meanwhile, NPP nimpo conform the also the when your plans for money mean case mahama ya de meanwhile bia wa kwiti nkoma wodi no ase ono meanwhile bia no bo mahama baso supporters for the mutimi nya akokodro case ya ese MPP for na so mahama bon homodin pa baby an dollar we hear bia bedru send na petrol te we bia bedru betting tax we timi ye for intimo how pa ne sen. So these are the things I also just say share Sammy Gyamfi before Timmy free sim just say obeki can I dream ye pa a chair na just say or can say unja introno channel na mahama kwamba say obese Ghana asase na mum oba so be fix it the mess ahodo a wa mon crofo na fofo no amo MPP form no mess ahodo mo ye na went manka no oba fix ya because Ghana ye ya enye MPP enye ndisi fo nkwa ho na atomo ye nyina ho atomo so Cṛasheṣ ma onu aso de nye binti afọ wanso ni Akroma.